What I want y'all to take from this video is to embrace your own standards. Don't let anyone else's opinion alter your personal standards.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today, the eve before Thanksgiving. So, I'm trying to be a little bit more responsible, do a little bit more streams a week. What's up with Jita? What's up with Jita? How you doing today, guys? Bring back the fat bitches. Hey. According to Joker, size matters. Of course, he's an idiot and like us. Don't get me into that motherfucker. I already got to do a fucking video on the lineup today. Anyway, how's everybody doing? It's the evening before Thanksgiving. Oh God, this was like an easy day from work, but it also reminded me how overtime is not a failure of people needing to work. It's a failure of management to properly plan, because we had overtime today. For like the last 2 hours, I had like 3 calls, which is fucking stupid. It just reminds me that capitalism is fucked up. And quite frankly, guys, God, it's just been one of those days. I fucking God. I'm glad for tomorrow to have the day off. Am I cooking? No, I'm actually spending the day by myself. Because I do like shit like go to the gym every day. So I go to the gym every day, and that's kind of risky behavior because gym enclosed area. But it's limited. So yeah, I'm kind of like don't want to kill family members because I've had a family member die unexpectedly at the beginning of the COVID thing before they were really testing people. So yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But anyway, let's look at some videos that we have today. And shit, hold on, guys. Hold on. Get the camera a little bit better, centered a little bit more. There we go. Let's go to a couple of videos that we have today. Now this is an old one. And one of the things that I do, like, I, of course, down a YouTube rabbit hole where you actually see various different shit. And I'm in kind of running out of a lot of videos that I normally watch. But, you know, we're going to go through. This is why it was important to, like, get the motherfucking Trump out of office. Because his followers will believe any fucking thing. Let's go. Why didn't it come up? Yeah, half-ass show today, guys. Half-ass show. No, there we go.
What is it about?
All right, so we're actually going to go. And this is actually pretty interesting because this was 2016, right before the election where the interview actually took place. But this is where motherfuckers don't live in facts and don't realize the enormity of some of the worst shit that happens. And it's just fucking, this shit was unbelievable when I saw this shit. And yeah, let's listen.
Donald Trump that has gotten you to wear the hat, wear the button, and hold the sign?
Well, from what I understand, he is the first political candidate who's run with hardly any money from Wall Street, from the big banks, and he's run against them the whole time.
So this is, quite frankly, a lie, because Donald Trump did did get help from Wall Street. Admittedly, in 2016, not as much as Hillary Clinton did, but he did get money from Wall Street. And he did say something about the banks, but in reality, his whole empire was funded by the banks because he kept taking out loans. People kept giving him fucking money. And you know what he did? He lost it. That's why right now he has a loan coming up and no money to pay. But let's continue.
He's gotten in and he's pissed off the Democrats and the Republicans. The elitists in both parties hate him. But it's more than just that. Not only do they hate him for being who he is, they hate him for all the right reasons. He, wants to get out corruption, put some congressional term limits, everything from, building the wall and trying to keep jobs here in America.
You seem to want to get corruption and money out of politics. That seems to be something, Simon, that you've said that you're not really happy about. Yeah. Hillary Clinton has said that the very first thing she's going to do is get a constitutional amendment to get money out of politics, but really to also get a Supreme Court justice who is going to overturn Citizens United, help to overturn Citizens United.
Money out of politics is kind of not really a fair statement, because I never said I wanted money out of politics, because money in a lot.
Wow, look at those mental gymnastics that he just did. So you actually have it where you're complaining about the corruption, you're complaining about pissing off Democrats and Republicans. And when it mentions to take money out of politics, oh no, we don't want to take money out of politics. Money out of politics. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that in my Escanor voice? But again, it's one of those things where it's just no, God, King, Emperor Trump said it, and because he said it, and it's actually good. But let's continue.
A lot of ways, a proxy for free speech. I'm a college student. I have free time. I can volunteer for Trump. I can go to his rallies. But say you have a businessman who has a family, a wife and kids, who works 40, 50 hours a week. He can't go out there and campaign for Trump. He can't go out there and campaign for whoever his favorite candidate is. The only way that he can make his voice heard for that candidate is through donations. And you have people who work their whole lives to get to the top of companies. They should be able to donate to candidates.
So wait the fucking minute. You're telling me, because one, most people don't work their whole lives and get to the top of the companies. That's a bullshit. That's a bullshit ass motherfucking exception to the rules that we all fucking know well. That somebody should actually use their outsized power to drown out the rest of us who are voters. Oh shit, it's a purge coming. Fuck. All right. Let's continue. Anyway, it's all of these people sit back and say that, oh no, this guy in particular is saying, well, money in politics, that it's a necessary thing. No, motherfucker, it's not. But let's continue.
Now, Trump hasn't talked about getting rid of Citizens United or money in politics that way, because again, that's one of our biggest ways for free speech. What he has talked about, though, which I think is great, is getting things like lobbying out of the way. Like, for instance, you can have lobbyists write these regulation bills and out-regulate their competitors. One of the best investments, and Trump has even said this himself, for a company to make is to buy a politician, to buy a lobbyist who will go and write regulations that will make it so the other places can't compete with you. A big corporation has a huge legal team, a small business doesn't. So those regulations, are fine for the big business, but the small one gets,
So one of the things that he fails to realize is that, yeah, of course, big businesses have fucking regulations that they can play the system by. But also, you can literally, no bullshit, actually just have the regulations for, hear me out now, small business instead of large businesses. There's no reason why Walmart should have regulations that favor them. And it's that same argument that you see a lot of motherfuckers actually say, well, if you make the minimum wage $15 an hour, it'll drown out small businesses. and it only leave big business. That's bullshit. That's the bullshit that these big companies will tell you. Because you know what killed off a lot of the small businesses? Walmart, Amazon, because they create such a monopoly of motherfucking selling power. Of course they're killing off businesses, especially when so many people that work for Walmart or work for these big box stores are literally on food stamps. What was it? Where it was, they determined, like McDonald's did a budget like a few years ago, and they said the best thing you can do as a McDonald's employees to make sure your budget works is income from a second job. But fuck, let's continue.
Gets throttled.
You know, the motto of his campaign, Make America Great Again. Well, America was not great for a lot of people in the days that he harkens back to it. Like if he says he wants to go back to like it was when Eisenhower was president, he said that once. That was the middle of the 50s, right? And there were Jim Crow laws in the South. It was a great time, not for everybody though, right?
Well,
okay, so the correct answer is yes, it was a bad time for a lot of people, but we want to make it more inclusive for everybody. That's the best answer. That's the best fucking answer that we can actually give people. Like, yeah, no, it was bad then, but we want to make it better for everybody now. And we can, because America is the richest, strongest country, right? It's the biggest, bestest country, right? So of course it can be better for everyone. Not just a select few of white males sitting on top of the fucking hierarchy. That's what you should say, right? Because you're a caring, empathetic human being. But let's see what this motherfucker say.
well, now, which party was the one who perpetrated those Jim Crow laws? Is that the Democrats or the Republicans?
Wait. Wow. Look. He's standing still, but he just fucking pivoted. Like, really? This is the fucking hill you're gonna die on? That, oh no, it was the Democrats that did the Jim Crow laws when they were fucking Dixiecrats. Like, I don't get this whole thing about, well, the Democrats were originally the racist party because they were in the fucking South. They were the Southern Party. And they were the party that were the Dixiecrats that promoted racism. And when the Civil Rights Act was actually passed, and more of the people who were less racist were part of the Democratic Party, and the more racist people were saying, well, no, fuck it, we're going Republicans. It's called the Southern strategy for a reason. But let's continue.
You know, that's not. It's not about that. It's not a party thing.
Think about why America was greater then than it was now. Well, let's look for Black Americans, because you say it was worse for them then. Now they did experience big racism, lots of.
Whoa! I know this non-wheat bread motherfucker. Fuck it. I know this. Oh, fuck. I know this white bread motherfucker is not going to just say that, well, it was a little bit, they did a little bit of racism back then. Wow. He pulled a little bit of racism back then. He pulled a little bit of racism back then card. Wow. Okay. Let's hear his explanation.
Racism. Nobody, I don't think anybody here in any way supports that. But you look at what was going on then versus now in Black America. Then, in the 50s and whatnot, Black Americans had a higher rate of married families than white people. I think it was something around 75, 80% of...
Everybody had a higher rate of married people. Everybody did. The thing about it is, divorce was harder back in that time frame. It was harder. And it was harder because the laws hadn't changed. And the fact of the matter is, we still have the Southern strategy to fucking deal with. But let's continue.
Households in black households had a mother and father. Now you have Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty that incentivized single motherhood and made it so it was much easier to get money from the government than to actually create a family. And now you look at the poverty rate. Now you look at families always.
The war on poverty was RFK and MLK, and Lyndon B. Johnson had the Great Society. But I think every president has always wanted a war on poverty.
So, did you just like catch that? Because they wanted to actually get rid of poverty when America was supposedly so much greater, then of course it was of course it's a bad thing because the war on poverty. Like, do people, like, did he actually just listen to the shit that he said? That, oh no, black families had it worse back then, but we had to actually do a war on poverty. We had to create welfare because reasons, right? But let's continue.
Excuse me about that. But you look at the rate now for marriage with African Americans. In some places, it's as low as 20%. But I think the national average is around 30% of black Americans have a mother and father in the household. When you don't have a father in the household, I know this because I am the child of a single parent, you can't grow up the right way. It is incredibly hard to get ahead. And that's...
Okay. God, this motherfucker. Like, does he realize the shit that he's actually saying? Like, he is literally saying that, well, because fucking... I got another fucking thrall. Because there is high divorce rates, or there is high single parent rates. Black families are just bad now. But they never speak to the single family rates of non-black people or white people. They never speak to that shit. The only thing they speak to is that, all because black people's culture. That's the only goddamn thing they speak about. And then it's fucking incorrect. It's fucking incorrect because the rates are the same across the fucking board. But let's continue.
It's one of the things that affected black families the most out of any other issue. And within that community, they are hurting big time, really big time. I know a lot of people from that community.
So, one of the things that I also want to actually mention is, does he think he's fucked up as a person? Like, I just don't get that one. Does he think he's fucked up because, as he said, he's a child of a single parent household? Does he believe that his situation is fucked up? Like, this is what I don't get about shit like this. Because motherfuckers like this will sit back and swear to God that all the black family, they're experiencing shit bad because, you know, reasons. But when they come up to, you know, people who aren't black that have that same situation, they don't think anything wrong of it. They just say, well, damn, they all knocked out. Well, because reasons. Because, oh, my thrall died. Oh well. Oh shit. I can get more berserkers. I'm sorry, guys. But they think because reasons. Because reasons. Black folks just in a bad positions. But let's continue.
Do you think that there's an African American that you could walk up to on the street anywhere in America and say, would you rather have it how it was in the 1950s, where Donald Trump has alluded to saying it was a better time, when you had to go to separate schools, use secondhand textbooks, live in certain places, only be able to sit in certain places, drink from certain water fountains?
Well, I think that they have to look at the trade-off, because there is a huge thing. Now,
Wait, what? Fucking what? Did he just fucking really say that? Did he fucking really say that? They have to look at the trade-offs? They have to look at the trade-offs. Wow. Fucking wow. Fuck! Let's continue.
America was net better, more prosperous for the majority of Americans. Now, there was the issue with the African Americans, obviously, and there were strong Republicans who were fighting against that, hugely trying to fight for those African Americans.
This man, my man's just said that America was better, but like, do these motherfuckers really hear what the fuck they're saying? Like, for real. Like, for real. Do they fucking really hear what the fuck they're saying? I don't think they do. But let's continue.
That time. But I think the thing that's important is you do have people, black Americans. You look at Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell, which is like the first motherfucking incarnation of Candace Owens. The first person to actually say, well, black folks, they could be better, but they choose not to be better. Well, black folks would love the cutthroat reality that you see with so many with the whole fucking they love to have the things where, damn it, I'm gonna lose fucking Lotus. Not again. Fuck. Let's continue. Professor has talked about time and time again that to him, the African American community still was better than when you had that type of racism. When you had that type of very evil racism, it was still, they were
evil. Say evil. Say evil. Say evil. But let's continue.
Doing better than they are today with this mess that they're in right now. So there are some out there who do believe that.
I don't think you would find, and we can't answer this question, but one African American person who said that the times of Jim Crow laws and segregation was ever any better than today. Well, in general,
you can't compare.
Did he just say that you can't compare? Like, for real? Fuck. These motherfuckers are... God.
Just one aspect of a time to the net aspect of this time. You know, we may be better on racial equality and whatnot, but you still have these huge problems in their communities.
Wait, what? So you're literally still saying that, well, you know, they would rather be racially oppressed than the shit that they have now, which is still racial oppression. Like, I'm not, like, this shit is fucking amazing because he is really saying this shit. Like, he's saying this shit like, for some reason, black folks, like, it's no racism anymore. Let's continue.
Where they're getting killed way more now than they were back then. The streets are less safe for them now than they were back then.
Our African American communities are absolutely in the worst shape that they've ever been in before, ever, ever, ever. You take a look at the inner cities, you get no education, you get no jobs, you get shot walking down the street. I say to the African American people that have to suffer in these inner cities, what do you have to lose? I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it.
I think strong police force.
He didn't fix it. And that's the sad part about it. People knew Trump wasn't going to fix it. People truly understood that Trump wasn't going to fix shit. They saw Trump as somebody who was bullshitting everybody. And they knew Trump was just a fucking monster. They knew Trump was a monster. But, you know, the great white savior told them something different. But let's continue.
Putting the family back together, cracking down on criminality and thug culture, because it's injected itself into the African American community. You see tons of people, like, again, I'll reference Thomas Sowell again, Thomas Sowell, professor.
Like, really, dog? Really? But let's continue.
He talked about how, you know, if you look at black people over in Germany, where they immigrated there, they are not in any way of the same culture as the black people here, because black people over there never had the rap hip hop culture that came around, and
they also never had the history of slavery that black Americans had historically here.
Did England enslave blacks in England?
I'm talking about America versus Germany. You said Germany.
You know,
yeah, actually, yeah, they did. Fuck, yes, they did. Like, god damn it. Like, do these motherfuckers hear what the fuck they're saying? Let's continue.
England is an example where they do have that rap and gang culture over there, and you do have the violence again. The violence is, and there was no institutional racism in Germany. Excuse me, in England. You know, and I think that it's really not fair to try and.
I mean, like, are we watching the same shit? Like, do we have the same shared history with these motherfuckers? Like, do they not see some of the shit that we actually do see? Like, it's almost as if these motherfuckers, and my base is looking like shit right now. It's like these motherfuckers really don't fucking get that, you know, black people got a raw fucking deal. They got a fucked up ass deal. But these motherfuckers will never admit to that. But let's continue.
A lot of people try and guilt white people about the slavery thing, when you have still many cultures, non-white particularly, that own and sell slaves today. The Islamic slave trade is huge, well and alive. And we were
talking about America and the President of the United States.
Was one of the first countries to abolish slavery. You know, America had it for one of the shortest amount of time.
You're right.
No, they weren't. They weren't. But let's fucking continue, because, you know, facts don't mean shit. Because that is probably one of the reasons that led to the War of Independence. You know, because England was trying to get rid of their slaves, and America didn't like that shit. But let's continue.
Right about that, right? But there's an entire class of people in this country who are descended from people who were brought here as slaves.
They still had better lives here than they did back in Africa.
As slaves, they had better lives here.
And there are some that would argue that. You can look that up. Their descendants, the descendants of those slaves, have much better lives here than the descendants of people who would have never gotten on those slave boats in Africa. And that's a proof.
Wait, so we justify the genocide because fucking reasons? We justify the genocide because fucking reasons. Wow. Let's continue. Run my ass away.
Provable fact, you know, because we have given them all those freedoms.
Wow.
So
So
many many people judge strictly off of looks.
Sorry about that. Like, this motherfucker literally says that slavery was cool, man, because yeah, slaves had it better than people that stayed in Africa. Like, he literally said that shit. And I don't even know how. I don't even know how to fucking justify that shit. Like, these people actually think that it was a good thing that people were actually enslaved. And you gotta wonder, like, how these people actually think that, you know, do they actually think that slavery was a good thing? Like, you have to wonder, like, what do you think, man? Like, how do you actually even justify that? And you know how you justify it? Because you believe that black people got what they deserve, or they're currently getting what they deserve. That's how you justify that shit. You justify that shit because you think that, well, yeah, for some reason, these people are actually bad, and, you know, black people are just inherently bad or weaker. The shit is just fucking ridiculous to me, because it makes us seem like, it makes them seem like they have to have some sort of, like, they have to have some sort of superiority complex, that no matter what, they're better. But fuck, wow. Let's take a small little break. I'm gonna actually reset and go to the next video.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.